Welcome back. I read the first 3 books in the Hunger Games series a long time ago when I was working at a little show called Inner Space. And I even learned how to use a bow and arrow like Katniss during that time. Needless to say, I was intrigued by this month's social chapter selection, Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins.
Yes, it's set in a world of Panem 24 years before the original Hunger Games series. This prequel tells the story of legendary survivor Haymitch Abernathy. Take a listen.
The crowd thickens, but I can see one of the 12-year-olds up front trying to hide that he's crying. In 2 years, Sid will be there. I wonder whether it'll be me or Ma who sits him down beforehand and explains about his role in the reaping. How he has to look nice and keep his mouth shut and not cause any trouble. Even if the unthinkable happens and his name gets drawn, he's got to suck it up, put on the bravest face he can muster, and climb onto that stage because resistance is not an option.
Okay, we all have 20 seconds to sound off on this audible. Mel, why don't you go first?
Oh, do I have to? Okay, fine. I was generous with a 6.5 out of 10, and here's why. If you even read one Hunger Games book, you already know the ending to this book. The question then becomes, do you care enough about the main character to want to stick around for hours of listening just to get his backstories? For me, no. Haymitch Abernathy is not compelling enough for me to want to know how he became Haymitch Abernathy. Maybe it's an obvious means to an end, like the release of another Hunger Games movie. Anyway, finally, the real news of the world is too depressing, so this listen just added on to that. Now, Andrea, what about you?
I love when you say it with all your heart. All right, so I gave this 7.5 out of 10, and here's why. First, the title is very misleading. So if you're thinking it's a nature memoir, spoiler, it's not. Turns out it's a very dark political drama with teenagers, bird symbolism, and a guy who treats fashion and murder with equal seriousness. And I've never seen or read The Hunger Games, I know, which made it a bit hard to follow, but I would describe it like Shakespeare meets reality TV. So if you're a fan, you're gonna love it. But if you're like me and you're a newbie, it may not be your cup of tea. Say it. Yeah. Cynthia, what did you think?
Okay, Andrea, I gave this an 8 out of 10, and here's why. While I personally didn't connect with it, I think the fans of the Hunger Games, as you mentioned, will really enjoy revisiting this world and uncovering Haymitch's backstory. It's ultimately a tragic tale that highlights the darker side of adult leadership and the strength and resilience of teenagers. This is probably why it still resonates so deeply with the YA audience. I'm not a part of it, but I understand it.
Love it.
Jess, what about you?
I gave this an 8.2 out of 10, and here's why. Because it's a return to this thrilling sci-fi world that feels both brand new and also satisfyingly familiar. The story is sharp, packed with high drama, big twists, and a few gasp out loud moments. Plus, there's a new villain, smart, savvy, and so deliciously sinister you'll be dying to see him get volunteered as tribute. Yeah!
All right, so we've all given our takes. The Hunger Games premise is really grim. So what do you think about a series of children killing children? Why do you think it's so popular?
That's a great question. But do you think it's, like, humans, we're complicated, because I feel like we've been sort of obsessed with this kind of stuff for a while. Shows our dark, most basic instincts. Greek tragedies, we're always sacrificing kids. We got Lord of the Flies a little more recently.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with us? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as entirely about kids killing kids. It is about irresponsible adults who are doing this for their own entertainment.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not about a story about kids killing kids. It's about adults who are making kids kill kids.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think this is the loss of innocence for kids.
I do too, and the reminder that kids actually end up figuring a lot of stuff out themselves. I think that's why they love it so much.
That's right.
What's wrong with adults?
Sorry, that's another topic. Well, I don't know, if you've been watching the show long enough, you know I'm a survivalist. Like, I could actually survive in the arena and beyond. So would you do okay surviving out in the wild in this arena, or would you just sort of give up and be killed? What would you think, Andrea?
I think if it came down between them or me, it's definitely not, it's gonna be them, it's not gonna be me.
Really?
Yeah. Listen, I grew up downtown, I was riding public transit at age 9. I dare you to come at me. I also got my gun license decades ago, so I wouldn't mess with me too much. So I feel confident that I'm a little scrappy. Now, don't take me by my summer dress, scrappy.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
How are you doing?
Well, I've never had to test my survival skills, but a couple of times.
Have you been on public transit?
Well, yeah, a couple of times I've had to run to make the GO train, and I've jumped on right when the doors were closing. So I think I'd survive really well in the wild.
Did anyone ever play that game Survival with their school where you get assigned like a different animal and you'd either be like a small, like a squirrel, or you'd be like a wolf, or you'd be a human? I think I was a deer once at one of those things, and I survived by hiding. So I'd be okay. I'd dodge you.
I love that.
I'd dodge you, I'd be all right.
I love that.
Yeah. Well, you guys know I'm a survivalist, so I'm the one you're going to come to. I'll find you water. I'll get you good food. I'm going to build you a perfect place to live.
We're coming to your place. We're coming to your
my
bunker.
place.
We protect her at all costs,
Yeah,
is
yeah,
what we do. All right, well, this Audible original definitely got us talking. And good news, you can join me and Jess on Instagram Live today at 4:30 Eastern to continue this awesome conversation, including our thoughts on teenage love and whether or not we believe that there is one person, only one person on this big planet that's just for you. I got a juicy story to share. You don't want to miss it.
But now it's time for the big reveal. May I have a drum roll, please? Our next social chapter selection is the Audible original Sacrilege, Curse of the Imbirwi, starring Stranger Things' Caleb McLaughlin. This heart-stopping psychological thriller plunges listeners into a world where ancient spirits collide with inner wounds and family secrets are as deadly as the strange beasts that stalk the savannah.
Wow. I love how you say savannah, not Savannah.
Savannah!
Stylistic. Okay, everybody, be sure to head to audible.ca. That's where you can pre-order it for yourself. You can also scan the trusty QR code that's on the screen. It'll take you right there. Don't forget, your first audiobook is free with your membership. So what are you waiting for? Join us for the next listen, will ya? Yeah.
Hey, you, come a bit closer. We've got so many more must-see interviews, spicy debates, lifestyle tips, and pop culture moments. So subscribe to our channel by tapping the logo below and don't miss out.